Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of this game. Oh, in the last one, we found out that Nick was murdered. Uh, is it in connection with what he was working on, or was it random? I personally think that is in connection with what he's working on, and given that he's meeting
The
with
last time
somebody
I
who
was
is
here,
very
I was
shady.
shoving way too many boxes into a trunk that couldn't fit them all.
She's got a nice house. It's out in the country. I don't know what's up that way though. Is that her dad's house? Oh, I think these are just random houses, so she's not too far off.
He had to get a new one after the accident. Must have been very expensive. Didn't think I'd see it again. Not looking forward to stepping back inside.
I would.
It's fine, Dad. I can handle this.
Someone broke into my daughter's house and you want me to just sit by and wait?
Yes, that is exactly what I want you to do. Don't you have an appointment?
I always have an appointment. Doctors more often than I'm home. Sam, talk some sense into my daughter here.
You know, Anna, Joe's pretty sharp for an old man who can't walk.
That's right. And Sam here's got a good mind for a fool-headed kid.
Dad, I love you. And I love that you want to protect me, but please, it'll be okay. Go to your doctor's appointment. The police will be here soon.
I'm just bellyaching. It's your house. Your rules, I'll leave you to it.
Thank you.
Though before I head off, Sam, you tell me if something was going on, right? Anna's brave and she's strong, but she's also stubborn.
Dad, I told you I can take care of myself.
And I'm old enough to know when things ain't right. You tell me now, Sam. You tell me if my little girl is in danger. I can't watch over her anymore, so I need you to keep her safe.
Stop talking about me like I'm not here.
Joe, I don't know.
She's all I have left. Promise me you'll protect her. I need your word.
Wow. Heavy. Joe's really laying on the paternal guilt. I can't promise something like that. I don't know what might happen. He just wants to feel like someone is looking out for her. I can't blame him. And what if I can't keep that promise? Then refuse. All I know is I personally couldn't say no to a desperate father.
I guess we'll try our best.
I still can't hide anything from you.
Sam, don't.
I won't lie, Joe. There is something going on. It could be dangerous, but I'll make sure Anna doesn't get mixed up in it.
All right. I'm trusting you on this.
I'm not some kid. I decide what I get mixed up in.
You can't blame me for looking after you.
I just didn't want you to worry. You're both so patronizing. I'm heading inside. See how bad it is.
Like, I trust
I need to get in there
Anna.
eventually. It's Bugs. She probably brought it over one time when she came with Nick. It was great to come back from work, sit down, and read until the sun went down. Anna and I spent our nights out here, trying to find all the constellations.
I wonder how her and Nick came to be. Maybe a lot of commiserating over Nick being gone.
Anna never got rid of this sign.
Garden shed. They didn't have any interest in that. So they didn't come this way. Wheelchair. Let's look around.
I used to follow it down to the shack every other week for fishing Sunday.
Let's see. Doesn't look like there's much outside. Vehicle could be the robber, mother grass. Okay.
Shattered glass. This is how whoever it was broke into the house. Sent from a mourner. Anna probably couldn't handle taking it inside.
Wonder why they didn't try to go through a window. Alright. Looks like they were looking for something.
Anna is not well. This time, at least, try to be there for her. Anna? Anna, are you okay? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no. She needs you, buddy. Needs me? I don't even think she knows I'm here. What am I supposed to do? Something. Anything. It's the thought, the effort. Get her a drink. Just show her you're here. I'm not sure how a drink will make her feel better about murders and break-ins. But I guess I've heard worse ideas. She kept the drinks in the kitchen, in one of the pantries.
Alright. Seems like it's been searched through.
She's not gonna want something cold. Always said cold drinks are for parties. Even when he messed up, Nick always found the right words. And I always wanted to visit France, but life is just too strange for me there. Anna's favorite band. Smooth as always, Nick.
They were supposed to go, but it's in May. We're in April. like that was that.
Who takes the time to have a drink in the middle of a break-in?
Maybe they were waiting for her.
She normally keeps some drinks in the pantry. It's been a while, Sam. Things have changed around here. You feel like looking at old keepsakes? No. Ah, here's where she keeps the drinks.
Oh, let's see.
On the bright side, I don't think it's possible to make her feel worse. You're not helping. Yes, I am. Yes, you are. Thanks.
Uh, okay.
What are you waiting for? Bring it to her already.
Whew.
Here, might take the edge off.
That's sweet. I'd assumed you'd already gone to look around and, I don't know, think. This is just so fucked. Nick? My house?
Sam, you should distract her. Get her talking or thinking about anything else.
My stuff, everything is trashed. Is this like the worst coincidence? Or is it related to Nick's death? Did his murderer break into my house? God, I can't help but being pissed at Nick for being dead. It makes no sense. It's all just a lot. I used to feel safe here, and now, sorry, thanks, Sam.
It's all right. A lot has happened in the last few hours.
She always accused us of not listening, so I think it's best to listen. Dear Miss Miller, your dad says writing thank yous, so I hope you. Okay.
Anna has to be helping her dad out with these. I'm not sure it's enough.
I think I missed a mind place to you. With the games and things like that. It's okay.
Sam, what are you doing? I called for dinner like a dozen times. It's gonna get cold. I am not your mom, you know. Working on an article is no reason to ignore basic politeness, Sam. Fine. You can eat your dinner cold for all I care. I'm done waiting for you.
Glitched out a little bit.
Anna would pace around the house for hours, then sit down and write her articles in one go. Anna always wanted to take me to concerts. They were just never my thing. Cheesy action movies, dark thrillers, and human rights. The melting pot of Anna.
So, they were looking for something. Definitely probably looking for more information for Nick. Anna said that some of his things were here, so they must have knew that.
This feels like the only part of the house I recognize. Whatever punk broke in here wrecked it. There.
Song Anna played.
Good thing it's intact. It's about the last thing Anna has of her mother.
Books. Let's see.
I don't think she ever forgave me for saying I didn't think they sounded better.
Okay. So we checked the kitchen. They drank her wine. I feel like it may have been more than one person.
Who takes the time to have a drink in the middle of a break-in?
Somebody who's been here a while.
Finally, there.
Anything here? No. Okay, so bottom is wrecked.
I know you
So-
want to help her by finding out what happened. Right now, though, stay focused on Anna. She needs to know she's not alone.
Well, I mean, I gave her a drink and I listened to her. She's not alone.
Hey, are you feeling better?
Yeah. Thank you, Sam. Sorry, I just kind of lost it for a second there.
Yeah. I mean, careful, Sam. You know you can be indelicate. She needs your support right now.
I mean, it hasn't been an easy week, you know? And I've got the feeling it isn't over yet.
Tell me about it. I should have stayed back in Connecticut. This town doesn't want me here. Coming back, facing all that aggression, being covered in blood, possibly accused of murder. Did you really have to make it about you?
I know this hasn't been easy for you either. This all sucks. I'm just so... This whole thing is a mess. But honestly, it's been a mess for a while. Like, everything was fine, you know? Nick moved in, it was nice, but lately he just closed himself off. He'd been gone most nights, at the bar or the fishing shack, come home late, refusing to talk about his work. It got unbearable. It was almost like I was living with you all over again.
It doesn't feel good, but she needs to get this off her chest. Don't be too harsh on her. You're right. I shut you out, and I'm sorry.
The past is the past. None of what's happening now is your fault. I'm just lashing out. It's just having you in the house. It's bringing back a lot of things. We had a good time. So many memories here, both bad and great.
We did have a good time, yeah.
But then came Dad's accident. the mine investigation, your proposal, I still feel horrible about how it all happened. But you understand why I said no, right?
Face it, Sam. If you had paid attention, you'd have known she wasn't going to say yes. You didn't want a ring. You told me before. I thought it was what you're supposed to do. I thought maybe it'd save us.
That's a nice thought. I feel like you're listening now. And I thank you for that. You know? It ended so abruptly, you and I. I don't think I ever took the time to really process what happened. I wonder if it would have ended the same way with Nick. If my relationship with him was as doomed as my relationship with you. The way Nick closed himself off to me the last few weeks. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I can't bear to live with someone, to truly share my life, to make compromises and all that.
I don't know. Sometimes people fit together, sometimes they don't.
She's feeling guilty about what happened. She shouldn't bear that burden alone.
I don't think it was doomed.
It wasn't your fault that Nick closed himself off. No one makes someone distant, especially someone like Nick. It must have been on his side. He was dealing with something dark. I know that's why I closed people off. I never spoke to Nick again after leaving town.
It doesn't matter anyway, now does it? He's dead, and whatever we had is done. And we're on our own if we're gonna find out who killed him. I'm not backing down from this, no matter what we find. What about you?
Yeah, I mean... You can count on me, Anna. We're in this until the end.
That's good. That's really good. Let's see this to the end, and, well, we'll see what happens when we get there, right?
Whatever happens, we're in this together.
Can you take a look upstairs? I still need a moment. Let me make sure I'm done crying and all that.
Take your time. I'll tell you if anything's wrong.
Thanks, Sam.
So, now we can look upstairs. So downstairs is pretty much looked over. Whoever, like, busted through here spent a small time downstairs.
As far as Bug was concerned, this was her real house.
Oh, the fishing cabin.
I remember taking this photo. God, seeing it like this. It's not what Anna needed.
Is that Anna?
The door is closed. Huh. She never used to lock it.
Huh. Oh, goodness. Alright. Door's locked. Something hit that. They went through. Definitely went into the bathroom for whatever reason. Why would they turn over the dirty hamper? Oh,
As if her week wasn't bad enough already.
watch your
I
back.
should erase it. But then the police wouldn't get the burglar's handwriting.
Nick was very moved in. Yeah, he was very moved in.
Why is it so dark in here?
Anna's stuff. This room doesn't have, it has
This
lamps.
room feels so different now. It felt like mine once, but it never was.
Looks like they tossed all of her books or movies down. There we go.
I asked Anna what this was once, and she laughed at me. I still don't know what it is.
I think it's a mandala? I think that's what it's called. There we go.
I guess Anna must have left it on, but she had her laptop with her.
So then this is
Is this Nick's?
This is Nick's laptop.
Huh? Is someone downloading something off Nick's laptop?
What?
Sam! Sam! Who was that? Sam! Are you okay?
I think whoever trashed your house just trashed me.
Can you stand?
Yeah. The headache isn't as bad as the one I had this morning.
I couldn't get a good look at them. They just sprinted out of the house, and I heard some weird, loud engine drive off.
Well, whoever it was, they were dumping data off Nick's computer. I must have interrupted them.
There's no trace of whatever he took. So what do we even do now?
We need Nick's backups, if he has any. Did he ever do anything like that? Boxes in the attic, files to the cloud, another computer? Did he have anywhere besides here and the basswood jungle he kept things?
No. No, I don't think so. I don't... Actually, over the last few months, remember I mentioned Nick has been going out a lot to that old fishing shack his family owns?
I know the one. I went there with Nick and Bug a few times.
He went mostly in the evenings. Most nights, really. Said he was night fishing.
But if he was secretly using it as a second office...
It'd be worth taking a look.
Hello? Anna? Are you home? Your father called. Said there'd been a break-in?
Couldn't they have gotten here 2 minutes ago? They'll arrest me if they found Dennis's body.
You go out the back. I'll talk to Bess and keep her busy.
If you're sure, I'll go to the fishing shack. It sounds like if Nick was hiding something, it might be there.
I'm starting to get worried.
Sorry! I was just in the bathroom. Be right out. Go.
Goodness. Whew.
Nick's fishing shack. Lot of memories here. Good memories. Anna said he'd been sneaking off here to work on something. I almost hope I don't find anything. Nick, what were you up to?
So that guy that hit me, he kind of looks a little bit like that dude that I encountered earlier at the,
Joan rides this bike everywhere. Which is impressive with how far away everything is out here. What's it doing here?
he kind of looks like, the person that I ran into at the pharmacy.
I remember teaching Bug how to roast marshmallows. Hers turned out great. Mine were always burnt.
Well, burnt marshmallows, like the skin being burnt, are pretty good. Because then when you like put them onto like a s'more, which is a graham cracker with chocolate and a marshmallow little sandwich, it always tastes like really good. I prefer it that way.
You know, fishing's a lot like life. Practice, patience, and perseverance hooks you the big one.
Dad, not everything is a life lesson.
Actually, I was talking to Muley here.
Oh, that's fine. He's got a lot to learn.
You know, I'm better at fishing and life than you are.
Whatever you say, Muley.
Aw, worms are so cute.
You sure are, Bug. Can you hook me another one? Can't catch a fish without bait.
I don't want to hurt it.
Come on, it's just a worm.
Here, Bug, just hand them over and I'll bait it.
No, I'd be an accomplice then.
Don't worry about it. The point of fishing isn't to catch anything anyways.
Yeah, sometimes fishing isn't to catch anything, it's just to relax. Though, can feel pretty, like, if you're outside when it's hot and it's cold. When it's hot or when it's cold is probably not the best time to go fishing.
Bug?
Muley? How did you... Does my mom know?
Does your mom know what? What is this?
Mom doesn't know. Good. I've decided to leave town.
Bug, this is not a good idea.
I've got food for 5 days. I'll hitchhike and bike down to Virginia.
Do you have any idea how far that is?
About 80 miles to get down to my Aunt Lisa. My mom hates her. Don't try to stop me.
You can't leave like this. Not without telling anyone.
Oh, yeah? Why not? That's what you did.
She's serious about this. Careful, Sam. This is not a drill. Maybe try to bring up her mother again. Is there something wrong with your mom?
No, I'm running away because things are so great. Plus, I know what she'll say. Calm down, think of the common good. She doesn't do anything, just sits around, takes her back pain pills, and stares at the TV like a lump.
Well, that was a miss. When it comes to this kid, your instinct is better than mine. The mother, though, we should have a talk with her later.
Look, I'm not a child anymore. I'm
You
not
are.
asking for your permission.
You're still a child.
There's nothing for me here.
Leaving is gonna hurt the people you care about the most. The way I left was selfish. You're not selfish. The Joan I knew couldn't even hurt a worm, let alone her own mother.
It's not like I want to hurt her. She just works all the time, and then she's too out of it. And never listens to me. I think I'm done depending on others. My dad I could rely on. But he's gone. There's nothing else for me around here.
I was wrong yesterday. She's not in denial. She's scared.
Something terrible happened to him, but no one listens to me. No one cares.
Didn't you see all the people who showed up at his funeral? This town has a hole the size of your dad in it right now. Everyone feels like you do. Your mom is probably just as sad as you are. Just as broken up about it.
But she doesn't listen. They don't listen. Every time I try and talk about it, people just give me this look. This place is full of gutless, patronizing adults, and I'm sick of this dumb little town. It's choking me, and I need fresh air. I need someplace I can think, not here.
Sounds like Basswood really failed this kid.
I mean, what am I supposed to do tomorrow? Or the day after? In 10 years?
Mm.
Remember what we said this morning? You could be anything you want. You don't want to stay in this town? You don't have to. But leaving like this? Running away?
That's not gonna help anything.
Thanks for listening. But I don't know if I can take this place anymore.
Can't you try? What would your father say?
You're just telling me what I want to hear. Or what you think I want to hear. I just want the truth. For once, from someone. I'm wasting my time here with you.
Bug.
Don't touch me! I'm sick of you, I'm sick of this town, and so I'm going, and you can't stop me.
Sam, we have to do something.
She just wants honesty. She doesn't care about bullshit.
I can relate to that.
I'll tell her what we found out about Nick's death. You can't do that. You're the adult. She's the child.
Do you want her to start looking for the people who killed her father by herself?
Do the responsible thing. Make her stay. It's for her own good.
Like, she is a child. She says she's not a child anymore. I'm like, girl, you are a literal child. I feel like we should tell her the truth about her dad, but she's just probably gonna get hurt, so I think I'm gonna just
I'll
call
call
her
your
mom.
mother.
What? Don't.
I'll call her right now.
Don't.
You can't just run away.
Fine. I'll go home. Don't call her.
It's for your own good, Bug. It's too dangerous for you out there.
Whatever. You're just like everyone else.
Ooh, harsh. But fair. Sorry, Bug. Now that I've kept your daughter from skipping town, he always kept his favorite rod in this special ready-to-go bag to protect it.
Yeah.
Bug never was the social type. Just like me. With Nick gone, I guess we both lost our best friend.
I mean, she said she could rely on her dad, and I think that's just because she's like, my mom works all the time, and like, she has to. She literally has to in order to take care of you. But with her dad, she could rely on him because he didn't really have to do anything. Any real modicum of taking care of her. He just needed to pick her up from school and distract her for a little bit while her mom works, and then her mom picks her up. But she's a child, so children don't necessarily understand that. And given that her mom is probably working a 12-hour shift from morning till nighttime just to afford bills and standing, it'd be understandable that she's tired and wants to check out. But she can't do that if she has her daughter. So she has to make some form of effort to be there. Because she told us, she's worried about losing her kid. You know? So I can understand losing that relationship with her kid. So I can understand how she feels about that.
Joan always liked bugs. We used to talk about how hunting was cruel. How much did you change, Nick? There used to be a calendar right here. Why'd he take it down? Back when Nick and Kathy were college sweethearts. Clearly Bug was there too.
They both graduated. I wonder, yeah, they both graduated. I wonder what her mom graduated with. What degree she graduated with. Okay.
This is where he kept the rods he'd loan out. So what's his favorite rod doing here? He always kept it separate. Locked. Nick always kept a spare key. It'd be somewhere out of Bug's reach. Don't see the keys. It was probably too obvious a spot. Nothing here. Probably too high and hard to get at anyway. No keys. It's also not the best place if you wanted him to stay hidden.
Maybe. There we go.
What a fishy hiding spot, Nick. Always did love your cliches. Man, Bug certainly grew up faster than I realized.
Yeah,
She still has a long way to go.
she says she's a child. She's not a child anymore, and just like you're 11. You're still a child. You're not an adult.
Like many people, Nick kept a few guns, but never at home and always locked up. A prescription for opioids with Kathy's name on it? Nick was trying to find ways to get Joan in college. It's gotten so expensive. An article by Anna about a place called The Cove. Seems it's kind of a commune for outcasts just outside of Basswood.
Oh, okay. I think I'm getting some idea about what's going on. I think, yeah, I think I'm getting some idea about what's going on. At least some idea. I'm not gonna confirm it just yet. Just because I don't know yes yet.
It has to be the same D he was talking to in his emails.
He wants to meet on the 2nd.
It has to be the same D he was talking to in his emails.
Yeah. Calendar. Here we go. There's a note here.
Looks like some kind of reminder Nick left for himself. A reminder of what?
Remember caterpillar, so upside down left.
All right. I think I went through everything here.
Anything else before I close this? So we have the newspaper article about a place called the Cove that is about people who relapsed after using opioids, which is a serious issue that happens, especially in these small towns. Like, also it happens in like major cities, but people have found that, well, journalists and studies have found that small towns like this that used to be hubs of businesses, like coal mining towns, especially because it's backbreaking work. They're hunched over for long hours of the day, doing a lot of hard manual labor, so they need something to, like, for pain. And so there's quite a few articles that go into it, just the investigation of it, and found that, documentaries, articles have found that they are being, the people who are taking the drugs, the opioids, are essentially being pushed the opioids by the pharmacists. And the pharmacists have become pushers because the pharmaceutical company said that the opioids aren't addicting, and in some ways they do give bonuses to pharmacists and doctors for how often they push these prescriptions, for how often they fill or push the prescriptions onto like onto the community. So a doctor may get a kickback from the pharmaceutical company's representative for choosing to recommend that specific pain medication to a patient. And it doesn't really matter what type of pain they're experiencing, just as long as they give them that drug. So it could be just a minor pain, like, you know, a minor backache, like my back hurts a little bit. But nothing that I would need an opioid for. But they may recommend one to me to relax my back, and they may recommend that I take, like, a dose. Um, they may take, like, one pill or something every few hours, or two pills every few hours. And because I'm somebody who doesn't necessarily, you know, if I was somebody who doesn't necessarily know anything about prescriptions or RXs or medicals, like the medical field, I wouldn't question it. I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll take two pills every 4 hours. And I know that if I take two pills of opioids every 4 hours, that I will more than likely become very quickly addicted to them if they recommend that I take it every day, you know? So it's definitely something that is like an issue, um, in small towns, especially this. So I'm wondering, with this, if this is what's going on, if this is like, if what we're uncovering is that Nick was investigating uh, resurgence in an opioid crisis in, uh, well, not a resurgence, but was finding out that there was an opioid crisis in his town, and that it goes very far, and that there are people that are actively covering up um, how bad it is. And that's why he became distant from Anna and things like that. And that's probably why he tried to call Nick to tell him about his investigation. But Nick was like, I don't want to talk to you or anybody in town, type of deal. So, yeah. So, Tyler was the person I think we ran into at the store. I think Tyler was the one we ran into at the store. And I think he was the one that hit us at Anna's house. He hit He knocked us out, and he was probably sent to Anna's house and was doing his stuff there. So this cove place is basically a halfway home, possibly a halfway house. Yeah, probably a halfway home, a halfway house, with a woman that kind of takes care of them, but she does, kick people out. So I think she's been trying to keep them safe in a sense, which is good. But I think there's only so much that she can do, especially with people who relapse. She had two rules: no fighting, no stealing. She kicks them out if they steal, and it's a good stepping stone for folks that would need jobs or need to have that base, because then they could send their mail to her, she could give it to them, they could find jobs that way. But unfortunately, being a drug addict or an alcoholic is really hard. You will relapse, and sometimes you'll relapse really hard, and sometimes sometimes you don't relapse as bad. You just have to keep going. Sometimes you just have to keep going. That's the best way to describe it. Alright, so D wants to meet and remember a caterpillar. So it's like, so remember caterpillar.
If Dee met Nick on the day he died, he could be the last person who saw him alive. If Nick kept this, it means it's important. Just have to figure out why.
Alright, let's look at the article. Because I didn't look, I just read it. So let's
An
look.
article by Anna about a place called The Cove. Seems it's kind of a commune for outcasts just outside of Basswood.
Okay. I don't know what else I should be looking for. Um, let's see if there's anything over here.
Tell a 3-year-old kid about tardigrade man, and this is what happens.
Let's see. That fell through.
Now, this record is fraudulent. Nick stretched his fish to beat mine.
Let's see.
Whoever killed Nick, I probably know him. Grew up with them. Even if you don't know them, they know you. Nick, Dennis, gone. A stone-cold killer walks the streets of Basswood. Things like this can really make you feel isolated, make you realize that at the end of the day, you're in this alone.
Oh. All right.
These are pretty heavy-duty painkillers. Very addictive. Joan wasn't just acting up. Kathy has a problem.
Anything else here? Good. Good.
Nick was trying to find ways to get Joan in college. It's gotten so expensive.
Okay. I think that was it.
Like many people, Nick kept a few guns. But never at home, and always locked up. This is where he kept the rods he'd loan out. So what's his favorite rod doing here? He always kept it separate. Nick's note mentioned a caterpillar. I think I just found it.
Over a caterpillar. So red, green, blue, red, yellow. Red, green, blue, red, yellow. Red, green, blue, red, yellow.
He always kept his favorite rod in this special ready-to-go bag to protect it. Nick, what were you hiding in this bag that's so important you had it locked up?
Come on. Can I unlock it? I guess. Unlock.
Wrong combination. Knowing Nick, maybe he left a hint lying around the shack.
Okay. So, right, left, red, green, blue, red, yellow. Okay. Red, green, blue, red, yellow. There we go.
Let's see what we have here.
All right. We are deep into our investigation. So, I am going to leave off on that. We're going to try to figure out what's going on. And hopefully we can. You have a good rest of your night. Bye.